this is Jodi. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this fun Christmas card with the little Santa on there. This is using the stamp set Best of Christmas. This is one of the special Stampin' Up! Sets in honor of their 25th anniversary this year. A new one comes out every month, and if you purchase 6 of them, you save the little sticker that's enclosed. You can turn your sheet in with 6 stickers and get any stamp set of your choice, $14.95 or less. So let's go ahead and get started. The base of this card is cherry cobbler, so I took an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock and folded that in half. And then I have a piece of crumb cake that is 3.5 by 4 3/4 of an inch, and I already embossed it with the Stripes embossing folder. The first thing I want to do is take some of our cherry cobbler ribbon from the holiday catalog, and I'm just going to lay it on here to kind of estimate how much I need. And I will use my adhesive to tack this down on the bottom here. So I'll just put some adhesive on there, lay the ribbon over it, and then I'll turn it over and put some more adhesive on the back and tack the ribbon down here. So what I want to do with this card is create a little window. So you can see here when I hold it like this that the crumb cake layer actually has that circle punched out and then this focal point added in. So we're going to take this and take the 2.5 inch circle punch and put that punch in as far down as it will go, and then I just need to estimate and see that the side here and here are relatively equal. So I'm just going to pop out that circle to create the frame, and then this piece will be added to the card base with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to put a few on the back, and then we'll add this onto the card. I'm going to put some right in here too, just so that it gives it that little bit of a lift right around that circle. So now we'll put this right on the front of the card, like this. And then we also will add this. This is early espresso cardstock and the 2 3/8 inch scallop circle. So I'll put a couple of dimensionals on the back, and we'll pop that up too. There's a lot of depth on this card. So peel those off and put this right inside. So the 2 3/8 scallop fits perfectly right inside that 2.5 inch circle. So now we need to do the focal point of Santa, and I also want to show you how to use the expressions framelits to get this Mary out of the gold foil paper. So let's go ahead and get started with the Santa. I'm going to stamp the Santa image with early Espresso ink. So I'll tap that on here and stamp on my scrap of very vanilla cardstock. And then I'm going to do some coloring with some blender pens and ink pads. So I'm going to squeeze the crisp Cantalope ink so that there's ink on the lid, and then take my blender pen and pick some of that up. I'm just going to go on here and color over Santa's face. I used early Espresso ink instead of the black StazOn, so I want to make sure that I'm not doing too much blending over these brown lines because they will bleed into the color. So I'm just really lightly going over those. Go down here and get his mouth. And then between colors, I just swipe on my scrap paper until it comes out clear. The tip will be discolored, but as long as it's clear when I swipe, then I'm good to do it with another color. So I'll use cherry cobbler, again squeeze it, and then I have my palette to pick up the ink. So I'll use this to color in the hat. Just go back as it starts to lighten up, then I just grab more color. And I'll also get the berries on his hat and swipe that. And then I'm going to use Gumball Green. You could also use Old Olive, either color, just to get a little bit of green up there on his hat where the holly berries are. Come back in here with the green. And then I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch to pop out that Santa face. So I'll just hold it like this and get it centered and line it up. and pop that out, and then I'll put some regular adhesive on the back and add it to this part that we've already done. So here we are so far. There's just a couple more things that we need to do. So I'm going to move some stuff aside and pull in my Big Shot. And I'm using the magnetic platform. If you haven't gotten one of these yet, it's a great buy. It's $39.95 and it works awesome for the framelits. I'm going to set some gold foil paper on here, and then this is it says Mary. It's kind of hard to read backwards, but you'll notice that there's a magnetic pull on there. So when I set it on there, it's not going to move. So I make my sandwich between the cutting pads, and then, what I wanted to do is show you, you need to use it this way. It'll actually cut through much better and come out easier if you run it through this way rather than how I started. So I'll set the cutting pad on and then crank this through. And then I will move this aside so that we can work with this. And then all this is going to do is just peel right off. So I'm going to get rid of the extra foil paper. And then I use my piercing tool. There's little spots right in here that you can just poke, and it releases on the back side. If I do it this way, you should be able to see. So it just pops it out so that it's easier to grab. And it comes out really easily. You just need to be gentle with it because it is delicate, because it's such a small fine line. So I peel it all out of the framelit, and then the last thing will be to just use my glue and attach it right over the card like this. What I use is the Tombo multi-purpose glue. There's the smaller end here. Oops, let me poke that out of the M. And what I do is just get a little bit of the glue and kind of do dots all around on the letters. You could also put some glue down like on a paper plate or scrap paper and use a toothpick and pick some up if that works easier for you. But I just put some little dots around. So now that I've added glue all around, I'm going to just pick this up and lay it carefully over the ribbon and just press down and hold it gently for a moment. And the last thing I need to do on this card is add a little bit of glitter. I'm going to use Dazzling Diamonds glitter and my two-way glue pen, and I'm going to go over the parts that would be white on Santa's hat. So I'm just going to take my glue pen over these parts, and that's where the glitter will stick. Pour it over my tray. And then you just want to make sure that you literally whack it to get the extra glitter off. So you can see the sparkle on there on his hat from that glitter, and also the shimmer that you have from the gold foil paper. So it's another fun card using the new stamp set Best of Christmas. Thanks for watching. For daily creative inspiration, visit my blog or find me on Facebook at Jodi Reinert Stamps.